Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy.
Hi, I'm Libby, this is Julian, and together we are BoxedMeeples. And of course, today we are going to be talking about Christmassy themed board games, and we're going to talk about 12 of them.
Yeah, you get Christmas movies, you get Christmas music, you get Christmas books. So today we are celebrating games that are Christmassy. Now this might be because they're a bit frosty. There might be a bit of snow in there, and therefore that counts as Christmassy. Or it could be they're Christmas variations on board games that we already like. All of those things factor into our decisions, and we've plucked from a big pool to whittle it down to 12.
And we've tried very hard to not carry on too many of them that we might have mentioned on previous lists on other years. So hopefully these are all, apart from one, new choices.
So ready your partridges and your pear trees. Let's pick our 12 favourite Christmas board games. Do you ever find your Christmas dinner parties, they just drag a bit? Conversation runs out, you're like, what do we do now? Well, Don't Get Got is a great solution to this problem. In this game, you are set individual hidden challenges. Some might be, make someone look in the sky and wonder if there's snow. You might have to surreptitiously take a photo of someone with their phone and set it as their background. All this crazy shenanigans you have to do without anyone suspecting that you're doing it as part of a game. Because obviously, if they say, is this part of the game? You've immediately failed. There's a special festive edition you can get that also comes as a set of crackers. So you can slick this around the dinner table and fun and hilarity will inevitably follow.
One pick for me is Mezen by Arcane Wonders. We played this one for the first time at Essen this year where it released, and it is the Nordic jumper of a Christmas board game. It's red and white and this glorious abstract puzzling with these lovely little stags and other creatures that you've got to get all in the right position.
How do you make a hilarious abstract two-player game even better? Well, set it at Christmas. We all know how you play Boot the Halls. Ultimately, you've just got to get 3 cats in a line. But when you take it away from placing them on a bed and instead place them on the Christmas tree, you have a certain amount of festive flair. And if you played a lot of Boot, fortunately there's a new mechanic in this one. You can win the game simply by knocking your opponent's Christmas decorations off the tree.
Next up for me, we're going down an icy little river and we're taking a ride on Riverside. This is a roll and write and it's set in that wintry scene and we're trying to traverse our way through the river and get the most points we can. What's great about this is that it can be played solo, as I played it at Essen a couple of years ago, but also you can play it in a bigger group as well.
I'm of the opinion that if you set something where there's snow and ice, it immediately becomes a game you want to play at this time of year. And Kosmos' game, Nunatak, is about building an ice temple. You're collectively adding to this temple, building up a massive structure to ultimately try to meet area control and card-based conditions to win the game. But to be honest, the real winner is that person who gets to place the ice block at the very top, completing the tower.
At Christmas, we're often playing games with people that don't play games that often. And I think having a racing game is great for those sort of situations because everyone can get involved no matter how much they play. And I think that Snow Trails is the perfect choice for this time of year because you're racing those sled dogs and you're trying to get them around the slippery, icy corners as quickly as you can.
Santa's Workshop from Elfcreek game really is a Christmas board game for people who like board games. Now, all too often we see just a Christmassy overlay on roll and move games. We get all excited about the idea we can be chasing Father Christmas around the roofs of the houses, but when you come down to it, it's whoever rolls the highest number of sixes that ultimately win. This is not like that. In this game, it is a case of worker placement, trying to meet certain conditions on your own personal agenda to beat out your opponents. And if that all sounds a bit too much for your family playing, there is an easier side on the reverse, which makes it a lot more simple for people who have never played any board games before, but want to play something that has a little bit more bite than just trying to roll a number of sixes.
A great family fun pick from me is High Rise Penguins from Alleycat Games. In this, you're building a huge icy tower. It's got really wintry vibes and you're placing in those penguins and trying to get rid of your cards. But of course, what you're really trying to do is not be the person who knocks down that tower.
There's few books more Christmassy than Charles Dickens's A Christmas Carol, so a board game based on A Christmas Carol is immediately going to be a game you want to play at this time of year. Ghost of Christmas is a trick-taking game for 3 or more players, and as with so many different trick-taking games, it's all about working out what you have and trying to work out what your opponent likely have from what they've already played. We have trump suits in here, the hearts, but also what you play in the past and the order in which you play them can affect future actions, so it does tie into that Ghost of Christmas past, present and Ghost of Christmas yet to come that you see in the novel.
The next one for me is another one with super wintry vibes. It's Endless Winter by Fantasia Games. And this one is the one and only returning to the list from last year because we promised ourselves that we would play Endless Winter, last year's Christmas list, and we haven't done it. So we're going to play it this winter instead. And this is a glorious, it's got so many mechanisms working together in really, really wintry vibes.
I do like to add an expansion to a game I already love to make it feel that bit more Christmassy. I've really been enjoying Buttonshy's A Nice Cuppa, where you're just trying to make a cup of tea and not get weighed down by the stresses of your life. And there's few times in the year more stressful than Christmas, so this Christmas expansion adds in 4 more Christmassy stresses that you have to deal with while making your cup of tea. And if you want another Christmassy Buttonshy game, I can heartily recommend the game Yuletide. It's free to get, so it's not going to cost you anything, and it takes inspiration from Mike Berg's game Tides, takes his mechanisms and turns it into a 1-card game that you can play super quickly anywhere you're going.
Christmas is a super busy time of year and there's often lots of people gathering around and sometimes you just need that little bit of me time. And of course, Final Girl is a great choice for that. There's a new one that released, The North Pole Nightmare, and we can go to Santa's village. Of course, you're playing as Mrs. Claus and we're playing against Krampus. How much more festive can you get than that?
So that has been our 12 favourite festive Christmassy board games.
Yep, I mean, I think ice definitely counts.
Of course, if you're new to the channel and you would like to see more stuff we do, please consider subscribing and let us know in the comments down below what is your favourite Christmas-based board game and what even counts as a Christmas board game.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you. We love hearing your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if you're looking to buy any Christmas-themed board games, then we recommend you go to your friendly local game store. Of course, for us here in the southeast of England, we have Chaos Cards. And as usual, we have a discount code in our description that you can use at their checkout to save yourself a few pennies.
But Merry Christmas, and hopefully you'll find in your Christmas stocking or underneath your Christmas tree the board game that you do really want this Christmas.
Bye.